Morning traders, welcome to the live trading room. I hope you are all doing well this morning. Yesterday, so somebody's just asking how Sandile is. I was speaking to him this morning. He is doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I will send my regards. Yes, he's doing very well. Still in hospital, but he sounds much better than he did last week. Yeah, so he is recovering. I miss him too. I miss him too. I'll tell him, Jude. It's COVID. It's COVID. It's COVID-19. It's COVID-19. Right. Let's start. He seems to be doing very well. I will send the regards. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right. So let's start. We am I on record? Yes, we are. Thanks, guys. So let's get started. So yesterday we had a setup on CAD that is gone very well since yesterday. So that is the setup here, confirmed with the 4-hour candle closing above the flag. This one was relatively easy because the close was nice and tight. The stop was nice and tight. We can now move our stop from to break even, so we can put our trade to risk free. So that means you won't lose this trade whatever happens. So we're still looking for this to trade into 89.32. That is the target on CAD yen. We also looked at pound yen setup. Has not really gone anywhere. So we're still exactly where we were yesterday with pound yen. So we're still looking for this to make a continuation to the upside. Okay, so let's just have a look at the indicator. If the indicator is still valid, it is still pretty much valid, but it's not going fast enough. Okay, so if you've got CAD yen, that should be okay. We also looked at pound Audi. So pound Audi, let's have a look here. So pound Audi, we were looking for this to break to the downside. It has, but I don't like pound Audi much. If you took this one, that's still okay. Just move it to break even at this level, because at this level, like we said the last time, this can continue to push to the upside. All right, so that's what we have on pound CAD. Let's have a look at, we actually had pound CAD as well. So pound CAD, we're waiting for that to break to the downside. With this setup, we have eventually broken down, but the candle was too big for the downside here. But that's the trade setup here. We'll look for continuation to the downside on pound CAD. Right, pound Audi, we've already gone through that. Let's go through the rest of the pairs. Let's go through all of them. From the DXY and the euros, the DXY continues to the upside. No changes here in structure. We are still looking for the DXY to rally into the blue box. So this is our blue box at 93.74. We're currently at 93.13. We're looking for the DXY to push in there. Then that will be a complete corrective structure with WXY. We've been looking for this since it has been playing out. Okay, since we realized that this is not all the correction and we're not going to get away 5 there. That's after this, that's when we started looking for this to go into the blue box again for a double. Euro US dollar also continues to the downside. Nothing has changed. We're still looking for that to go into the blue box. So continuation patterns into the blue box there on Euro US dollar. Pound US dollar. Okay, also pulling back, we expect that to pull back to about 50%, 61%. So we are still looking for that to do that. So yesterday it looked like we're going to have a push to the upside, but because of the US dollar strength, we're still expecting this to push a little bit lower to about 50%. We're looking for that corrective structure. So you wait for this one to make a push to the upside. Otherwise, you stay away from it. US dollar chief was a trade of the week, had last week. Not last week, 2 weeks ago. It is still valid. So any continuation pattern here on US dollar chief, look to take it to the upside. Still bullish on US dollar chief with the US dollar strength. Right, interesting, US dollar CAD has moved to the downside while the US dollar Chief and the rest of the US dollar pairs continue to push to the upside. That is all because of the CAD in it. Those who ask about correlation, look at what happened with US dollar CAD compared to the rest of the pairs, compared to the rest of the US dollar pairs. This has now made what looks like a three-wave structure. We wanted it to push to the upside here into the blue box, which it has not. So we'll watch which structure is playing out here. So we could be getting a flat correction. So that even confirms that even if we do get upside here, we are still going to look for more downside on the US dollar CAD, and not necessarily because of the US dollar strength, but because of the CAD. Because as you've seen, the rest of the US dollar pairs are showing US dollar strength. So for example, here US dollar is strong. That's why US dollar Chief is pushing up. US dollar is strong on pound US dollar. We see that pound US dollar is still pulling to the downside, euro US dollar as well. And we see that the DXY is also pushing to the upside. Audi US dollar, with the US dollar strength, we expect that Audi US dollar will continue to push lower here. So this looks like a running flat. So we'll see this one coming down. It is coming down pretty slowly. This can hardly be looked at as a trade. So it's a very slow one here. So we can get here a bit of a pullback before pushing down into the blue box. We're already out of the blue box here. So this can reverse at any time here as soon as the euro US dollar is done with its move. So we just keep watching that, moving down very slowly. New Zealand US dollar. New Zealand US dollar has made a three-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3. 1, we're looking for this one to still make a continuation to the downside here. So we'll still see more downside on the New Zealand. Is CAD stronger than the JPY? You cannot tell that. We cannot tell. You have to look at CAD yen. So if you look at CAD yen, that means it's pushing to the upside. That means at that specific period, then the CAD is stronger than the JPY. So that means there are more buyers of the CAD than there are for the yen. That's why you see CAD yen is pushing to the upside. And that's why we've got that trade on CAD yen. US dollar ZAR continues to push to the upside. This is also correlated to US dollar CAD. So, but you see that that has kept pushing to the upside, even if US dollar CAD has reversed. Let's switch off here, just look at the structure. So looks like we've got an expanding flat here. It's a bit difficult to tell whether this is an expanding flat or we are starting a corrective structure here. Either way, let's have a look at the indicator and see what you're getting here in the 4 and the higher degrees. So the 4 hour is not showing us anything. Let's check on the 1 hour if we're getting any indication here. We should see a pullback on US dollar ZAR. And that's all that it is, a pullback. So we'll expect that. We've got this move down here. So the 1 hour, we're expecting a pullback here. That will be a continuation pattern for more upside here with 333 or a 335, possibly an expanding flat. We're still expecting more upside on US dollar ZAR. Let's go into the US dollar pairs. The US dollar pairs have been pushing up higher. Euro US dollar, rather US dollar yen. So we got another entry here with this 1 hour corrective structure on Monday. So we're still looking for that to push to the upside, continuation to the upside. The bigger structure on that, just to give you a reminder, is because of this. So we're looking at this here to be a pullback and then upside. Any continuation pattern here, we look to retest the previous highs at about 111 and even higher. Let's look at pound yen. So pound yen, we broke out of this structure on the 1 hour. Yesterday, we expected a continuation to the upside. We have broken out, we've confirmed, but we didn't really go anywhere. We can still get this continuation pattern here, but we'll look for this one to make a move to the upside. Alternatively, we can get something like this. This is already a 3 waves. You can already get another 3 waves to the upside and then move to the downside. The structure will be as follows: 1, 2, and a 3. 1, 2. Let me just show that structure here internally. So you can have this one making 1, 2. Let's take off the yellow here first. We'll bring back the higher degree after this. So we can have that coming down here and pushing to the upside and making the 3 waves in the red degree as follows. From there, we can get a move to the downside in either 3 or 5. Then we'll have that structure, and that will be a nice flat correction as follows, which could be a WXY and a continuation to the upside. Right now, we are pushing slightly higher, but the structure is still a bit messy. So let's wait for more data here. We could still have more here before we look for upside. Okay, so that is pound yen. Euro. We saw the confirmation on the 1 hour yesterday for upside with the break here. So we are looking for euro to at least give us this structure. So we are looking for upside, at least up to that level. Chief is pulling back in 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. Let's watch Chief around this level. We'll be giving another opportunity to sell it around those areas. And then CAD yen, we've already looked at CAD yen. CAD yen, we're looking for that to rally into the blue box. We've already gone through that one. New Zealand yen, 3 waves yesterday. We're still looking for this to continue to push to the upside. We want this to go into the blue box at 78.09. Let's just mark that blue box. We projected it yesterday. So we're still expecting continuation to the upside. That is New Zealand. AUD, same. Expect this to continue pushing to the upside around these levels. Gold. Is gold going to make a move to the upside? Let's have a look. We have now made the 3 waves after the impulse. Note that this is still below 50, so we can get this on gold. 1, 2, 3, slight push to the upside, and we can get another 3 waves to the downside before we push up higher. But even if we do get a structure like this, this will be a bigger corrective structure for more downside. But let's watch the 1 hour structure and the 4 hour indicators to see if what we're getting from these levels. Are we getting a slight push to the upside, or is it just going to come down from there? Let's have a look at both. Let's have a look at the 1 hour indicator. On the 1 hour, it's showing us downside. We are reset it. We have got 3 waves. Even if we do push slightly higher, gold can just do this. So no upside on gold. Let's have a look at the 4 hour as well. See if we've got any setup. The 1 hour, even more telling of and supportive of more downside. Okay, still very bearish. We're still looking for more downside on gold. Silver. For hours, still very bearish. We're already at the top here. We're still well at the bottom. So silver will continue to the downside. It will not be a surprise to see this do that. Similar to gold, we expect the same movement to the downside. Platinum is giving us a setup. You can see here, this is a setup. Make a alert here so that when the 4 hour candle crosses that line, you will wait for it to close below the lower boundary of the line, and that will trigger another setup for more downside. So keep an eye on that one. Looking interesting for more downside. Brent crude. Brent crude as well should see downside here. Remember the structure we're looking at on oil is this. Okay, so this pullback here, we're at the top, we're expecting oil to continue to the downside. Expect downside here. Pound CAD, we've already gone through this one. It's a setup from yesterday. It's dropping, 1 hour correction here. You can look to take it down. Pound Audi, we wanted this to drop from here. 1, 2, 3, it's a bit of a deeper correction. So we're still expecting a structure like this. Euro Audi, I'm gonna jump onto Euro Audi. Just 1 second for me, please. Okay, so that is a pound Audi. We look for it to come down slightly here. I want to jump onto Euro Audi so we can look at pound Audi and Euro Audi at the same time. Euro Audi still continuing to the downside with that structure, this continuation pattern from yesterday. Let's see here, we're still looking to see if that's going to make an expanding flat. Very likely that we get an expanding flat if pound Audi is going to give us a zigzag. So an expanding flat on Euro Audi and a zigzag on pound Audi. Corrective structure for continuation to the upside on both of them. New Zealand. So we saw that New Zealand doing this yesterday is now broken 1 hour setup. Look for 1 hour setup for continuation to the downside. Don't rush it. See, that's the 1 hour setup. Look for continuation to the downside. You can see here we're at the top, we're below 50. Look for this to continue downside. Let's jump to Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, also a 1 hour setup. We want to see this and more downside. All indications are downside. Right, pound chief. 1 hour is still showing us upside, but it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3 here. We can get this one pulling back here as follows, and then more upside on pound chief. Euro chief is still pushing up higher. Still pushing up higher. So let's have a look here on Euro on the daily. So this is going to be a deeper pullback on the Euro. The daily is already trading, almost trading above 50. So whatever structure we're going to get here, if this is pulling back up to the 50% of this, we are going to trade it to the upside until the correction is done. We are able to trade it as long as the RSI is above 50. Okay, so let's see here if we're going to get a clean break above 50, then we can start taking 4 hour trades at least back to the 50% of the whole move. After that, we'll look to still sell this to the downside. That is our Euro chief. Of the euros, we didn't do Euro pound. So Euro pound on the daily, we are still here. We want to see a bounce at these levels. We are still waiting for that bounce since yesterday. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. No confirmation of a bounce there. The RSI is still pretty below 50. Still sitting below 50 and we're at the top here. So we can still see more downside. So we can still see more downside there on Euro pound. No setup. Euro chief we've gone through, Euro CAD. Euro CAD still trading lower after making this regular flat. We're still looking for more downside. 1 hour setups for more downside. Audi, New Zealand. has made a three-wave pullback yesterday. That's what we saw yesterday, trading at about 1.05. We're still expecting continuation to the downside. Audi CAD. Audi CAD, since making an impulse, it has been coming down impulsively as well. So this should come back and retest this low. Nothing new on Audi CAD. Audi Chief. Audi Chief, we wait for this to break lower here. We're expecting this to make a continuation to the downside. New Zealand CAD, continuation to the downside. We even thought that I was going to make a three-way structure here, but that looks pretty impulsive. So this should continue to the downside. New Zealand Chief. New Zealand Chief, we expected this to come and just take this level here and expected an expanding flash. So let's watch what happens at these levels. There doesn't seem to be a sign of reversal. Looks like it's still going to continue to the upside. CAD Chief, our blue box trade setup, reversed from the blue box, still showing us continuation to the upside. No reversal, and it doesn't look like this is going to be the structure. Looks like it's going to be invalidated and we're going to see more upside. Let's look at the indices, S&P 500. Let's go down to the lower time frame, still a parabolic move to the upside, 1 hour. The RSI still well above 50 on the 1 hour, still showing us continuation to the upside here. We'll still see more upside on the S&P 500 in the next few sessions. Dow Jones Industrial is showing us continuation to the upside. Nothing new there. So every time you get a 1 hour continuation pattern, trade it according to the strategy, we keep pushing to the upside. The Nasdaq can very likely come down back around these levels and make this 1, 2, 3 there and move to the downside before pushing to the upside. UK 100 gave a 1 hour correction yesterday. With that, still pushing to the upside. No sign of a deeper correction. The DAX as well. DAX has made this structure. This looks like a running flat for now. Can still push lower and make a decent flat, regular flat for more upside. The Nikkei starting to look up. If we get a setup here for upside, we will take it. But otherwise, the structure is this being the 3 waves, and we're expecting this to come for one last down before we push up higher. All right, so that's what we have there. Apparently somebody has got their camera on and it's destructive. I think maybe you can switch off your video panels. I hope you are not in an awkward position. Remember, everybody can see you. I hope you are decent. Nifty, 1 hour continuation to the upside after breaking out of the regular flat. Okay, so now this is a new one on the 1 hour. 1, 2, 3. Look for more upside on the Nifty. Right, so let's go to the cryptocurrencies. Yesterday we were looking at these 1 hour corrections, expecting more upside. So the 1 hour corrections from yesterday are these ones. We're looking for this to push up higher. Let's just make sure here. We were here yesterday. This is where we were. We're looking for this to be 3 wave structures and push to the upside. So when you look at the indicator, we're looking for that to push to the upside with these 3 waves here. But instead, we just made a double. We made a double instead of a single. We made 3 down, 3 up, and 3 down, and eventually pushed up higher. And then I'm giving another corrective structure here. So, but if you look at that corrective structure, this one here does not have a setup on the 1 hour. The setup was here. The setup was here. Even when it made the double, the stock and the RSI were still confirming here. So we were here initially looking for these to break out of this structure. Did not happen, instead came down here. But if you look at the indicator, nothing has changed. It just gave a setup there. So we are still looking for Bitcoin to make another move to the upside. It is likely that we can come and retest this level here. With this being 3-3, 1, 2, 3, we make one more down. That will be a decent corrective structure for more upside. And this will be a 4-hour setup for Bitcoin to continue pushing to the upside. We are bullish. And that is the setup you will see on all of them. Let's show this here. We were looking for this yesterday. A break to the upside. Okay, so instead we've made 1, 2 complex flat, regular flat, and a move to the upside in 3 waves. This is still pushing to the upside as far as the 1 hour is concerned. We're still going to see more upside. There is this possibility, however, but that does not seem to be supported by the indicator, that we get an expanding flat as follows. So we are seeing that this is going to make a continuation pattern to the upside. Litecoin. Right, Litecoin was more convincing yesterday with the expectation that it was going to break from here, but just like Bitcoin, also made 3 down, 3 up, and 3 down here. Actually 5 down, and it's actually 5 here with a diagonal. If you look at this, this would have been a diagonal, A, B, C, and a move to the upside. Makes a push to the upside, corrective structure, and a push to the upside. We are still expecting more upside on Litecoin. Okay. Right, so that is a Litecoin, XRP, some amazing things on the cryptocurrencies. So I like to see the cryptocurrencies bullish because I've got a long-term portfolio and leveraged portfolio, and I'm heavily invested on Dogecoin, Cardano, obviously Bitcoin, that's where we all started, and Ethereum. I wish I had more Ethereum though. I wish I had more Ethereum than I currently hold, as well as, but Cardano, I've got quite a bit of Cardano. Okay? So those are looking pretty good. So we are still bullish, guys, still bullish. We're looking for more upside. See, Mark is saying something about ADA, made a huge push after Charles, the CEO, announced. It's just like the rest of the cryptocurrencies, but it's looking very good. Actually, we have made a move from about 144 yesterday. We're trading around these levels. This is where we're expecting the 1 hour setups to push to the upside. Let's first look at Dogecoin. We'll come back to that one on the higher degree to see what that looks like. Right, Doge on the 1 hour. Is this an impulse? 1, 2, 3. Are we going to see one more down and then upside? It doesn't look likely. It looks like we're seeing continuation to the upside here to retest the 28. This is also too sharp to make a flat. So I'm expecting more upside. Let's go to the 4 hour here. I was on the 1 hour because those are the setups that we saw yesterday. So looking at Dogecoin, if we make this structure, that will see more upside on Doge. All right, let's have a look at Doge on the daily. So Doge, just like the other altcoins, we want to see this structure being invalidated because this structure means continuation to the downside. But if we invalidate it, it means that this is the orthodox low and we are starting upside. And if that is only the start of the upside, that means we're still going to get a correction and we're still going to see more upside. Okay, so let's watch this. It looks like we're seeing continuation to the upside here, and all indicators are supporting upside. ADA almost back at the levels before the so-called crash of the cryptocurrencies, with that single move from yesterday. Let's have a look at the bigger structure here. Let's go to the weekly first. Now, ADA looks to have made a triangle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, guys, so to see this triangle, this red candle, this is the orthodox top. This red candle is making a move to the downside. That is a bearish candle. That means a move to the downside. That's upside. That is downside. That is upside. This is downside. And it looks like we've made the triangle corrective structure, and we're going to see more upside here on ADA. Okay. As to what we can attribute that big move from yesterday to, you can only read the news, but we look at the technicals before we look at the fundamental news. So let's have a look here on the 4-hour again. Still bullish, no signs of reversal. We're still looking for Cardano to continue pushing to the upside. Okay, we should see the previous highs before the June crash levels are reached again. So we're going to see more upside there. Looking pretty interesting on the cryptocurrencies right now. So Mark was saying ADA made a huge push after Charles, the CEO, announced the smart contract coming online soon. Yes, that has been looming for a while. So I think maybe the announcement or the confirmation. So the confirmation just got that spike. But in any case, the altcoins were all pushing up higher, including Bitcoin. All right. So that's what we have for now on the cryptocurrencies. I noticed you use log scale. Do you recommend this on every scale, or maybe only on the higher? I prefer the log scale. I'll tell you why. I think maybe I'll just show you the difference so in one of the webinars, the difference between the log and the normal scale, and why we use the log scale and not the normal scale. Okay, we'll prepare a 5-minute presentation just to talk about the log and the normal scale. Okay, but I prefer the log scale. You'll see why. All right. The heads and tails method. If you've attended the course, you should have that video. If you don't have it, let me know so that I can give you access to it. I will actually put it up on the website as part of the course. You should have access to the course on the website. We'll put it on there. We will upload it. Okay. Cheers, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. The LTAs will resume only on Friday. So tomorrow we will not have the LTA. All right. Cheers, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.